Kevin Molis, the Malden Police Chief. I had a meeting with the mayor this week going over issues of public safety, and the topic came up with the weather getting nice about people opening up their swimming pools or maybe purchasing swimming pools for the first time. As we all know, pools are designed for fun and recreation, but there are also some safety risks attached to that. Over the years, we have seen tragedies locally and around the country, and anytime we can prevent a tragedy by people being made aware of the rules and regulations that are in place for their safety and the safety of people who are going to join them at their pool, that's a good thing. So there are many things that make a city safe, and it involves partnerships. I often say that our greatest partner is the community, those of you who work with us to make this great city a safe place. But within city government, we also have great partners. And one of the greatest partners that the police department has is the building department. So I realized with this topic of pool safety, I should go to the expert. So I'm joined today by the building commissioner, Nelson Miller. Nelson Miller has been a great partner with the police department on matters of public safety. He's very knowledgeable in the field, very professional in his demeanor and the way he interacts with the public. So I realize that having Nelson Miller as a partner and a resource is a true gift to the police department and to the community. So having said that, I'm going to turn it over to Nelson. And Nelson, if you could, take a few minutes to maybe explain to people some of the issues that are connected to swimming pools and also the rules and regulations that are designed for the safety and fun recreational use of swimming pools in a way that can avoid tragedies.
Sure, thank you, Chief, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak about this important public safety topic to hopefully a good portion of the city. As you said, this is the time of year where people are considering either opening up their existing pools or maybe setting up or constructing a new pool, and oftentimes people aren't aware of the safety guidelines that are in place that govern these. So it's important that we get this information out to the public to avoid any tragedy, and unfortunately we hear about the many tragedies that happen on a yearly basis surrounding pools, typically with young children and drownings. So there are two sets of rules that govern pools, spas, and hot tubs in the state of Massachusetts and in the city of Malden. We have our building code. There's a book put out by the International Code Council which contains these rules. It's not a huge book, but it's not one that most people would have access to. So what our department has done is we've taken this book and we've simplified it for our citizens into a document which you can get through our department. I'm going to have this posted on our webpage, the Inspectional Services webpage of the city website, so that people have access to it. And if you want to reach out to us, you can also do that, and we'll be happy to send a copy along to you, as well as explain any of the rules and regulations and answer questions that you might have. We also have city ordinances which govern pools, spas, and hot tubs, and that mostly concerns the fences that go around them. The chief asked me to just cover maybe some of the more obvious and what I would consider more important rules that govern pools, spas, and hot tubs. What most people don't realize for the most part is that a pool by these rules is anything that is 24 inches deep or more. So even the small inflatable pools, the non-inflatable ones that you can buy at a local department store and set up in your backyard without a contractor or any kind of assistance, those also have to comply with these rules. The reason for that is it doesn't take a lot of water for a small child to drown. A small child can drown in up to 2 inches of water. So rule number one would be, if you have anything in your yard that's 24 inches deep or more, you want to make sure you're complying with these rules for safety of your family, your friends, and your neighborhood. The second rule would be contained within our ordinances, and that involves fencing. You have to have a fence that's at least 5 feet tall. It has to be around the pool or around the property. If you have an above ground pool, it can be mounted to the top of the pool, but it has to be at least 5 feet tall to contain the pool itself. And it also has to be at least 2 feet from the pool. It can't be right next to it. If you have an in-ground pool, it has to be 2 feet away. That fence has to have a gate and gates have to be self-closing, meaning they have a mechanism that makes them close by themselves. They have to open away from the pool so that a small child can't lean on it and push it in. And they also have to be self-latching. So if someone goes through it, it closes and latches by itself, making sure that no one can get inside that space who's not supposed to be inside it. A lot of above ground pools have ladders or staircases that get to them to access the pool. Those ladders or staircases have to be able to either fold up or lock or be removed, so that when no one is around, someone can't just climb up a ladder and fall into a pool. And lastly, there's other rules which are contained in this document, which involve zoning, meaning where you can put them on your property, the spacing of the chain link fence, if you have multiple gates, and things like that. Like I said, we'd be happy to answer any questions you have. We'll have this document online through the Inspectional Services Department webpage, and it's something that you can call the office, 781-397-7000, extension 2027. If you have any questions at all, we'd be happy to answer them for you.
Thanks, Nelson. I appreciate your help with this. One last thing I want to let people know. If you see anything that you believe is unsafe, especially if it's in progress, if you see young children near water that you believe that they might be at risk, or you see something that might be questionable with regard to following the safety codes, I would ask you to notify the police immediately so that we can respond, because that is a potential emergency situation. And as I indicated, we work very closely with Nelson and his department, and we can respond and hopefully remedy the situation. But again, we wish you all a safe and happy summer. As the weather gets better, more people will be engaged in recreational activities. This is one of them, and we do everything we can to make sure that you can do things safely and in an enjoyable way. So thanks again, Nelson. Thank you, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you out in the community.